Hey everybody, Daniel here from Everyday's Turkey Day, and today I'm going to be reviewing Jonathan Hickman and Nick Dragotta's East of West, the second trade paperback. And now when I reviewed the first one, I said, I wanted to like it a lot more than I did, but it was interesting enough that I was going to read the second trade paperback. And now that I did, I'm super happy that I did. I really liked it a lot more this time around, and I think that might be because I already knew what to expect, whereas the first time going into it, I don't know if maybe I just wanted more of a straight-up Western or what, but, I really like this trade paperback, man. It goes through, I believe, issues 6 through 10, or 5 through 10, something like that. But anyways, I think it does a good job of balancing a lot of different story elements that are going on right here, because there is kind of a lot of different characters in a lot of different places and a lot of different things happening. Think like Game of Thrones-esque, and I know a lot of shit gets compared to Game of Thrones, but hey, it's kind of the standard at the moment, I guess. But anyways, I think it does a good job of telling backstory and origins while continuing the plot moving forward and having, new exciting events happening, while at the same time leaving you wanting more as the reader. So to go over a little bit of what happens without diving in too deep, spoilers, a little bit. So if you don't want to know any spoilers, click off, go read the book. So in the last one, the Kentucky Fried Chicken looking Colonel Sanders guy and the guy from Texas, have a meeting, and the guy from Texas, whose name's Bell, he pretty much wants to stop the end of, the coming of the end of time or whatever, the apocalypse, and he wants to pretty much shut down the Chosen's whole plan. So in the beginning, Ezra, who's kind of the main Chosen guy and, can see, well, I guess he's the most well-versed with the message. He pretty much finds out that, there's a traitor amongst us, and brings out some kind of otherworldly creature who's supposed to bring the truth out of everybody. But the Kentucky Fried Chicken guy pretty much goes well, hell, I'll just tell you then. It was Bell. Bell's the one who's planning on, betraying all of us. So in that, Bell's oh shit, pulls out his gun, bam, lets off a shot, shoots the otherworldly, monster creature, hits it, and then that creature attaches itself to Ezra. So now Ezra kind of has this big ass monster on his arm for the rest of the book. But Bell gets away. He's injured, but he ends up getting back to the Republic of Texas, in which he then employs, or I don't know if employs is the right word, but, he gets one of the Texas Rangers, to help in order to, go kill all the rest of the Chosen people, as to try and stop the bringing of the apocalypse. So we get introduced to a new character who now, as I said, is basically tasked with going and fucking shit up, I guess. So you move on from that. You meet back up with Death and his two witch friends. And they basically go to see an oracle so that Death can find out where his son is. And so that was kind of the big moment at the end of the first trade paperback, was that, the beast of the coming of the apocalypse was Death's son. So, they go into this, winding staircase place and very mystical looking. And he talks to an oracle who then takes his eye and tells him to go to, I can't remember the name of the place, but it's some place where the Endless Nation is. And, says he doesn't get told where his son is, but he gets told where the place is where he can find somebody who will tell him where his son is. So I was okay. And then also you got more of the story with LaVey, who was the newly appointed president. Well, I don't know if president is the right word, but the newly appointed leader of one of the territories. And, she's having a hard time because, there's a whole big uprising, and her basic way to deal with that is that she turns it into a police state and, just starts shooting people and shit. So, not going too well. I don't know if that's the best way to deal with it, but I guess we'll see moving forward. And also we get a backstory of the kingdom, which I guess the long name for it would be the Kingdom of New Orleans, which pretty much after the Civil War, I guess this is pretty much the city state where all the black people are, and because they were given land, and then they negotiated with the Texas Republic to get the Gulf of Mexico, which I guess it wouldn't be called the Gulf of Mexico in here, but anyway, so they hit oil, and then so they're kind of like a rich ass nation, and you meet the prince of that and kind of see his backstory and his plan and how he all plays into this, and yeah, so then pretty much at the end, Death and his two witch people head to the Endless Nation place, which is called Heetsi, I guess. I'm probably mispronouncing that. But they actually meet up with the wolf's father, who is one of the witches that's rolling with Death. And, you know, there's a big showdown. And basically, I'll stop right there because I've already given a whole bunch of spoilers. But I don't want to totally ruin how this trade paperback ends. But yeah, I just want to say, like, I'm really loving this story now. I'm liking Death as the main protagonist. I think he reminds me kind of like of a Clint Eastwood character, and I think that's pretty kick-ass. I'm liking how the story's moving. The pacing's pretty cool. There's a lot of moving parts and world building, so it can kind of become a little bit complicated. Not overly so, but, you know, yeah, sort of. But anyways, yeah, man, so I kind of went from thinking it was meh to really liking this. So I do plan on continuing reading this, and now I would actually really recommend this. So if you read the first one and you didn't really like it that much, I would say give the second one a chance. And if you still don't like it, then maybe it's just not for you. But that is my thoughts on this one. I give it a 4 out of 5. Check it out, or don't. I don't know. Do what you want. And yeah, thanks for listening. Peace.